What is up? And on today's Unbiased Hard Take, I got a big lineup, a juicy lineup for you guys today because the NBA Finals is really heating up and the Pacers are making the upset of the decade, century even. And we're going to talk about the Indiana Pacers Oklahoma City Finals. Pacers are up 2-1. We're going to talk about that. Packers release Jair Alexander. We're going to talk about that in the Packers corner room. And I'm going to go on a rant about Aaron Rodgers. So stay tuned. What is up, everybody? Got a big, loaded, juicy episode for you guys today because we are going to, as you guys know, start hot. We're going to end hot. It's going to get really heated really fast. So, as you guys know, the Pacers now lead the NBA Finals 2-1. They have home court advantage now because they stole it. And another game tonight with a chance to go up 3-1. And game 4 tonight. Game 4 is in Indiana, obviously. So this is, again, all the pressure back on Oklahoma City. The key for an underdog is to keep all the pressure off of you. That's number one. And the Pacers have done exactly that, going out there in game 1 and just shocking people. Halliburton with a buzzer beating, the first one since Michael Jordan to do that in an NBA Finals game. So historic. But we'll talk about Tyrese Halliburton here a little bit because I've said that Pascal Siakam is the best player on the Pacers, and he still is. We've already talked about that. You can go back to my old video and go back to that. I ain't gonna rant about that again. That'd just be beating a dead horse. But let's just go for NBA Finals right now. As you guys know, today's Sports Fact a Day for our Facebook page. Again, go check that out if you haven't already done so. A lot of good daily content there. Links to that in the description down below. But Halliburton has shot 0 free throws through 3 NBA Finals games. That's insane. Pascal Siakam has been in the free throw line every single game, multiple times. So let's look here. Pascal Siakam for the NBA Finals only. Yeah, yes, I'll get this out of the way. He's only shooting 45% from the field, but we'll get to that here in a minute. 18.3 points a game, 7.7 rebounds a game, 3.7 assists per game, 0.7 steals with 1.3 blocks per game in this NBA Finals to this point. Let's go with Halliburton. Oh look, 17.7 points per game, less than Pascal. 7.3 rebounds per game, less than Pascal. 7.7 assists per game, more than Pascal. 1.3 steals per game, more than Pascal. 1.3 blocks per game, the same as Pascal. Pascal Siakam, in game 2, played horrible. 3 for 11 from the field, 27.3% from the field. Oh look, the Pacers lost that Finals game, and it wasn't close. If Halliburton was the best player in the Pacers, he would excel the team. But when Pascal does not play well or has an off night, the Pacers do not win. And mind you, Pascal shot 27.3% from the field, only made 3 field goals that game in game 2, and is still averaging a point more than Halliburton is. He's their best player. When he doesn't play well, they lose. Halliburton is their closer, and I'm not a Halliburton hater. I love Halliburton. And speaking of him, he's probably the most unique superstar we've seen because he's kind of wonky. He kind of reminds me of... we've never seen anything like him. He's kind of wonky looking. He looks kind of awkward coming down the court. And it kind of reminds me of Steve Urkel a little bit when he was balling in that one episode. For those of you who remember, or old enough to remember that, I'm making a Steve Urkel joke. He reminded me of Steve Urkel playing basketball in that one episode back in the day. And it's kind of wonky looking. I know it sounds like I'm making fun of him, but I'm not. He's an all-NBA player. All-NBA third team this year. He's their closer. He's easily right now having the most clutch playoffs in NBA Finals and NBA history in general. Again, like I said, I started out saying that he's the first player since Michael Jordan to hit a game-winning shot at the buzzer. Michael Jordan. LeBron never did it. Kobe never did it. KD never did it. Dwayne Wade never did it. He's having an all-time clutch playoffs. He's their closer. Without him, they lose game 1 of the Finals, and they're down in this. So he's one of their best players. He's an all-star player. There's nothing wrong with being the second best player. But he's kind of wonky. Again, 0 free throws. That's weird in 3 Finals games. I mean, the one time that your co-star, who's an NBA champion already, Pascal, has a bad performance, your team gets the butt kicked. Pascal's the best player in the Pacers. And, I mean, SGA too. That defense for Indiana was playing good. Where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the league MVP, also all NBA player. Thunder are still favored by about 66%, if I was looking at it correctly today. I don't have the exact stat, but still favored by around 65% to still win this finals. They don't have home court. They're down currently in Indiana. Pacers can go up 3-1 tonight. Pacers could have a chance here to have the biggest and maybe biggest upset in NBA history. This would be bigger than the Mavericks over the Heat and bigger than the Pistons over the Lakers back in the early 2000s. I would say this would be bigger than both of those things. Because the Pacers are just maybe the team of destiny. SGA had more turnovers and assists. Benedict Mathurin had 27 points off the bench. That's an insane number. All-time finals, one of the best finals performances off the bench in a finals game ever. And the Pacers, they're coming. And again, this pressure is all on Oklahoma City tonight because the Pacers have already proven that they can win in Oklahoma City. And if the Thunder go down 3-1, the Pacers are not losing 3 games in a row. They're not doing it. I'm just saying. They will not lose 3 in a row. So the Thunder have to win tonight. The Pacers, it would be convenient, and they have a chance to have a big, fat finals lead, massive lead. And this is not what I thought would happen. I said Oklahoma City in 6, and I am surprised. The Pacers are a great team. They deserve to be here. And like I said, this podcast is based in Indiana. It is kind of cool. Miami Heat supporter, not the retro hat, but back-to-back, baby. But this Pacer team seems like just truly the best team in the league. We're seeing it before our eyes. I watched the entire finals so far, from Game 1, Game 2, to Game 3. I went back last night. It's why the video's coming later today, because I went back and watched the last 8 minutes of that finals again, because that's where the game was won. Every time Oklahoma City would make a shot, or the Pacers had a couple bad fouls, in my opinion, in crunch time, where the Thunder got, obviously, some free throws, and Jalen Williams missed some free throws, and you had multiple players for the Pacers just hitting shot after shot, and the Thunder would respond, but the Pacers just had a bigger response. And that game was won in the last few minutes. And the Pacers in crunch time just seemed to get it done way better than the Thunder do. That's all I'm saying. Looks like the Pacers could very well be NBA champions. And it was kind of weird to see the finals in Indiana. It's not something I would ever see, because I thought I'd ever see. Because I'm from Indiana, I've been to multiple games at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, or I don't know what they call it, Conseco Fieldhouse. I don't know what they call it anymore, but the Fieldhouse. And I went 2 years ago. I went to a few Fever games. We tracked one. That's still our most popular video. I've been to this arena multiple times. So to see the arena that I grew up going to, have watched the Miami Heat play with the LeBron era, before the LeBron era, after the LeBron era, in this stadium. And it's really unique to see the finals in Indiana. This podcast is based in Indiana, and just kind of cool. And I'm always the guy for the underdog anyway, especially if my team is not in it this season. Hopefully we'll change that next year. But we're going to shift a little bit because the NBA Finals, it's amazing. The dark times are coming. They're coming, and they're coming very quickly. But we still have more NBA Finals. But we'll shift over to the world of the NFL here and talk about Jaire Alexander being released by the Green Bay Packers. And I understand this move. I really do. Again, I have more stats here. You guys already know I came prepared. Jaire has only played in 14 games in the last 2 seasons combined. 7 games the last 2 seasons. And in the games he plays great. 1 fumble recovery, a pick 6, 2 interceptions, 7 pass deflections, 16 total tackles in only 7 games. So he plays well when he plays still. I mean, probably not at his peak anymore, but still a top 10 corner. Probably not top 5, but definitely a top 10 corner when he's healthy. That's the thing, though. The Packers clear up over $10 million in salary cap doing this. And, I mean, let's be honest. They were playing without him anyway. People say, oh, our cornerback room is so hurt. Oh, my God, what are we going to do at corner? The Green Bay Packers are so screwed at corner. What are you talking about? Last 2 seasons, he only played 7 games in each season. And the year before that, he played a good amount of games. But before that, 4 games. So 3 of the last 4 years, the Packers have played without him anyway. So the Packers are saving money to do something that they've been doing already. Just saying. So I don't think he'll be necessarily the biggest loss, but you do have to look at the Packers' corner room and still admit that this is still the biggest weakness on their team. I mean, here's their corner roster. Jonathan Baldwin, rookie. Isaiah Dunn. Kamal Hadden. Tyron Herring. Nate Hobbs, again, the free agent signing from the Raiders. Gregory Jr. Kalen King from last year's draft. Keyshawn Nixon. Micah Robinson. Carrington Valentine. That is the Packers corner room. And apparently Bo Melton now is transitioning from wide receiver to cornerback. Bo Melton was literally making jokes that my teammates bet that I wasn't being serious. Now they owe me money. That's a real quote. Go look it up. So it's kind of concerning, the Packers corner room. But I mean, they do have Nate Hobbs, who's a starting level corner. They have Keyshawn Nixon, who's a starting level corner, and Carrington Valentine has shown good moments at corner as well for the Packers, and I like him as a player. He's proven to be well too. But the Packers need someone to step up desperately. And Nate Hobbs, I mean, he's played a little bit of outside, but most of his snaps came on the inside. And same with Keyshawn Nixon. So one of these guys are going to definitely, I mean, both these guys probably at this point are going to have to step out and not play inside anymore. And Carrington Valentine, I mean, maybe he can play outside, maybe he can move to the inside. I don't know what the Packers have planned for corner, because, I mean, Christ, Bo Melton is a corner now. And there's actually photos of him practicing at corner, and the Packers are kind of getting flamed on the internet right now for that. But you got to look at also the Packers' safety room. It's probably, if not the best, one of the best. In my opinion, the Packers already have the best safety with Xavier McKinney in the NFL. He's the best safety in the NFL, and they still have currently, I mean, Javon Bullard. You have Zane Anderson, who's more of really of a special teams player. But with Bullard and McKinney back there at the safety position, Evan Williams as well, that was one I was kind of stuttering on there. I mean, so the Packers have 3 starting level safeties. And Zane Anderson, who's made plays at times the last 3 seasons. He's only 28 years old as well. So the Packers have one of the best safety rooms in the NFL, so hopefully that can put some pressure off the corners. Now, the real question here is the Packers' pass rush, because it has to be better than what it was last year. And, I mean, I'm not going to say that, I mean, because I'm not going to speculate. The Packers, I mean, there have been rumors, oh, T.J. Watt's unhappy, they could trade for T.J. Watt, or, oh, things of that nature, and I'm not going to dive into that. This NFL sack leader last year as well is unhappy in Cincinnati. So I'm not going to go into players that aren't on the Packers roster. So Rashawn Gary, you look at him, straight up, has to be better. A Pro Bowl defensive lineman, Packers gave pass rusher. Packers gave him all that money, less than 10 sacks last year. Not good enough for him. Simply not good enough. So you got to ultimately look at him, and hopefully the Packers can generate some pass rush. Lucas Van Ness, talk as he might move inside a little bit as well to the defensive tackle position, as well as pass rush a little bit. So you got to ultimately look at Lucas Van Ness, a former first-round pick, and especially Rashawn Gary to get some pass rush going on for Green Bay, because that pass rush will help the corner room. If you give quarterbacks, especially with Justin Jefferson in the division, things of that nature, the Lions in the division with Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you have to get pressure on the quarterback, especially to help your corner room, especially with a weaker corner room. But the Packers will be playing without Jaire Alexander, which again they've been doing really that anyway the last 2 seasons. So and they save cap space doing it. So I don't think this is necessarily a big loss. I've been talking all season that I don't expect him to be on the roster anyway. And you still have King, who I think has shown potential as well, and hopefully can step up in the corner room as well, as former 7th-round pick of Green Bay a couple years back. So Packer corner room is probably the weakest thing on this team, but the Packers have a great offense where a quarterback is obviously set. Even backup quarterback is obviously set. Running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive lineman's great, defensive lineman's great. You got Carl Brooks, of course, Kenny Clark, and Lucas Van Ness may move inside. So Packers have, Rashawn Gary. So the linebackers really set. Quay Walker. I'm a big fan of Quay Walker. So, Packers are set everywhere except corner. Best safety room in the NFL. Simple up. Kicker solved, punter solved. Cornerback's our only weakness. And we need some pass rush. And one of those 2 things has to be fixed. Hopefully, obviously, I think Nate Hobbs will help with the Packer corner room as well. So, not necessarily, I don't think Green Bay necessarily got much worse. The Packers corner room is worse on paper, but considering we were playing without Alexander anyway, it's virtually a copy-paste, with actually gotten really better, in my opinion, with Nate Hobbs. So we're going to move on also to a little bit of Packers football here, because this is my rant, because Aaron Rodgers, and I've been seeing a lot of Packer fans even just roasting Rodgers and saying how they dislike him and stuff. Really, the man that won us a Super Bowl. And Colin Cowherd even said that he doesn't think he's a top 10 quarterback of all time. And that is the stupidest thing I have. Thank God John Middlecoff makes sense, because he's a big Rodgers guy. Aaron Rodgers is probably the most talented quarterback and throws the prettiest ball in NFL history. Obviously, Tom Brady's the GOAT. No one's disputing that. But let's not act like Aaron Rodgers is not a Super Bowl champion. Let's not act like Aaron Rodgers. I actually seen where I think it might have been Colin Cowherd, where people were ranking Dan Marino ahead of Aaron Rodgers. But in what category are we talking here? And of any kind, because Aaron Rodgers has more Super Bowls. Marino's never won a Super Bowl, which obviously means no Super Bowl MVP, which Rodgers also is a Super Bowl MVP. Rodgers is a top 5 in passing touchdowns, 7th in passing yards. So, and best passer rating and QBR of all time. So what are we talking about here? People just don't like Aaron Rodgers because he says what he thinks. He's anti-vax. He goes on the Joe Rogan podcast. He does Ashwaka, or I don't even know what it's called, or the thing he does, the drug. He does darkness retreat. He's kind of odd. He's weird. Colin Cowherd doesn't like that. Colin Cowherd is a corporate guy. He likes to just let the man rail him. That's a Colin Cowherd. Let's just be honest here. I'm biased Arte. Colin Cowherd just does whatever his bosses tell him to do. He's a pushover. He's part of the Matrix. This is what it is. And Aaron Rodgers is not that. He's not going to do everything ever. He's not going to just do what the popular thing is. He says what he thinks. He does his own researches and believes what the mainstream media tells him. And he just says what he thinks. And some of it I agree with. Some of it I don't. Darkness Retreat's kind of weird. Ashwaka, in my opinion, is kind of... Everyone's different. People talk about him getting married, and apparently that's weird now. But apparently when he was single, that was weird. People just don't like Aaron Rodgers. It's simple as that, and because of his vaccine status. And that's when it started. Let's be honest here. And because of that, a lot of people have turned on him, including Green Bay Packer fans. Oh, really? The man that won us a Super Bowl. The man that's top 5 in every major statistical category. Led us to the playoffs many times. Carried the Packers for years. Y'all were hanging on to his jockstrap 4 years ago. Hanging on to his jockstrap. And now people are talking crap in Green Bay about him. And I don't like that. If you're doing that as a Packer fan, go. Quiet, shut up. Your football IQ is low. It is that simple. And to the Steeler fans, and this is not the JB, because I understand JB makes some legit points. But to the Steeler fans out there who are doing the same thing, just railing on Aaron Rodgers, calling him overrated and washed. Oh, really? Because his statistics last year with the Jets are far beyond anything y'all have had since Big Ben. So Pittsburgh doesn't have any room to talk about quarterback play. Because ever since Ben Roethlisberger's retired, it's been garbage. And that's just the honest to God's truth. So, in my opinion, I understand some of JB's concerns. He is older. I understand the thought process of wanting to maybe just go with Mason Rudolph and see what happens. He was a playoff quarterback for you before. Or even go with Will Howard if things don't go well. Screw it, right? He's national champion, see what he's got. In worst case, we have a top quarterback pick next year. I understand that thought process, but to rail on Aaron Rodgers for what? I mean, let's all be honest. He's definitely the best he's a Band-Aid. He's a Band-Aid for now. Is he going to help him in 3 years? No. He probably has this year, and that's it. And he's probably only playing this year to get ahead of Brett Favre in touchdown passes. Because he has a chance to do that, because Aaron Rodgers is currently 5th all-time. Favre is 4. I think if Rodgers gets like 6 touchdowns, he breaks Favre. So that's what he wants to do, is pass Brett Favre. I mean, and it is what it is. I get it. He must play one more year. It was Pittsburgh or nothing for him. And this is, for Pittsburgh, the best solution right now. In this season now. Anyone who says they would rather have Mason Rudolph over a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers right now in their career, give me the over 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, or you're not watching football last season. Let's not act like the Jets are the most stable franchise. Aaron Rodgers had it great for years, probably the most stable organization over the last 30 years with Green Bay. Realized, oh, maybe the grass wasn't so green on the other side, and you think going to the fucking Jets, there's not one curse word I'm allowed, by the way, the fucking Jets is going to be the same as going to Green Bay and just dragging your buddies is going to work. That's not going to work. It didn't work, but now you have a chance to go to Pittsburgh, who can make the playoffs with a backup quarterback. Multiple quarterbacks. Mitch Berg is, I mean, for Christ's sake. Pittsburgh has been the most also stable, one of the most stable organizations in the NFL. You could argue even over Green Bay if you want to make that argument. But you can finally put an older quarterback on a stable organization. They have good receivers. They're going to have a good defense. I think things with TJ Watt will be, they're going to end up paying him. Pittsburgh is going to be just fine. Just like last season, people are saying Pittsburgh isn't going to make the playoffs. Woo, 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 woo. Worst in the division. Woo, 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 woo. Ended up being a double-digit winning team making the playoffs. Don't let the mainstream media fool you. Aaron Rodgers needed another act, and we'll see if it works out in Pittsburgh. Is he what he used to be? No. Is he mobile anymore doing that championship belt he used to do? No. Is he as good as he was 10 years ago? No. But Tom Brady wasn't either. And he went to a team with stability. And that's where Aaron Rodgers is now. He didn't do that at first. So I'm interested to see, so long as Rodgers stays healthy, I think they'll be a 9-10 win team in the playoff hunt. I mean, anyone who tells you otherwise is just wrong with a low football IQ. Aaron Rodgers is still a top 5 quarterback of all time. Anyone telling you otherwise is stupid and doesn't know football, and you should not be listening to them. It's that simple. And again, like Colin Cowherd, for Christ's sake. Again, that's all I got. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, like us on Facebook, Sports Facts Today, follow on Spotify, all that good stuff. We appreciate you guys. And again, be looking out for some more content tonight. It's NBA Finals night. Game 4 tonight here in Indiana, the basketball state. Woo, I'm excited. Not a Pacer fan, but just love me some good basketball. Again, that's all I got. As always, go Pack, go. Let's go Heat. And ball up, baby. We'll see y'all next time.